stand and join me in saluting the flag of our country. Place your right hand over your heart. Get ready to begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We do have a report out of closed session. The board took action 5-0 to approve notification of non-reelection pursuant to Ed Code Section 44929-21B to probationary certificated employee number 5878. And the board took action 5-0 to approve notification of possible reassignment pursuant to Education Code 44951 to certificated administrative employee 2256. Okay, moving on, public comments. This one has to do with items on this set, so I don't know, Joe, if you want to speak now or wait till we further down.
I'll go now, thank you.
Okay.
I'm a little unclear as to how much time I have because I pulled about 5 or 6 things. Can you explain how much time I'm going to have for?
So we allow 30 minutes total, 20 minutes for each item, so.
I guess I'm all by myself. Okay. My name is Joe Imbriano. I'm a parent in the Fullerton School District, but my children have been removed for health reasons over the hazards of wireless radiation. Although I do pay property tax to the city and the district is in receipt of that, so I do have standing to voice my concerns. Item number 1EE from the consent calendar, we've got an out-of-state conference for Dr. Hilda Flores, $7,000. I just want to make a quick point. We're spending money on sending people out of state for hotels and conferences and seminars, and we've got decaying infrastructure. We've got lead flux coming out of drinking fountains. We've got classrooms whose HVAC systems leave quite a bit to be desired. There are a lot of issues with overcrowding. We're bringing in students from other districts to pack these classrooms. We really need to go back to the textbooks and not the technology. You know, it's amazing the classical education experience that's available out there. It's amazing. In the direction that this district is going with its technology, aside from the health hazards, I'll address the obvious concern that I have with technology addiction. South Korea's got a serious problem on its hands right now. It's an epidemic situation where children can't get off of these things, and they're losing sleep, they're not eating. They have to send them away almost like heroin addicts back in the 70s. So it's a real tragedy, and you know, when I was growing up, everybody talked about marijuana being the gateway drug to cocaine and heroin and LSD. And I really believe the school districts have become the gateway to internet addiction. Item 1S on the consent calendar, another calendar event to spend a couple $1,000s going up to Canada, technology once again. Item 1T, another conference, 20 grand. We're going to send some people to Colorado for hands-on learning. Whatever happened to pencils and paper, we ostensibly went to the moon with those things. The direction this district has chosen to go with my tax money is deplorable. These children are being dehumanized by all of their screen time. I sat here at the last meeting I attended and watched in what I like to call horror as what these children are being turned into, and that is they're being turned into these robotic, subservient, rote repetition, non-critical thinkers. They're being taught to look things up. They're being taught to trust what they're being told online, and they're not using objectivity and creativity in a way that is beneficial to the development of the human brain. And there are plenty of medical experts and scientific experts that will corroborate what I just said. We have another one in Oregon here, item 1U, another $3,700. And then we've got some more staff travel. This iPersonalized thing where, you know, it looks to me like we're going into the video gaming model of education and instruction. That's the way that we're going. And I don't feel that's the right way to teach children how to learn. Here's another one.
That's not me doing it on purpose, by the way.
That's okay, I'm used to getting the buzzer. This wireless access point shopping. Item 1W, $277,000 to put into wireless access points. There are hundreds of scientists that have appealed to the World Health Organization to get this stuff out of the public square, and especially in the most vulnerable aspect of our society, that is the children. I've discussed at length what my beliefs are, and you can call those concerns if you'd like. I know that's the vernacular your legal department has chosen to record them in. But the reality is, when you have a situation where you're bringing something questionable into a classroom, whether it be lead or asbestos or phthalates or whatever the concern may be, I've never seen an example of where not exercising on the side of caution has been employed like I have with this technology that's being deployed. It's just mind-boggling. I understand a lot of people don't have a lot of options. They're totally dependent on you. You basically own your children because of socioeconomic conditions. They cannot afford to live in Orange County without working 2 jobs or with 1 income, and they can't afford to have one parent stay home. Some people don't have another mate or a partner in their raising of these children. So these children are forced to be in these environments. And in spite of everything you've been presented with, I've presented formal legal demands to turn these things off based on the education code violation that I've alleged. I have not gotten a formal response to that. And here we are, stepping on the gas with a sports car. We're going to put almost $800,000 more wireless access points into these classrooms. I've talked to people ad nauseum about this, and I can tell you that if people had options, they wouldn't be so afraid. But the reality is these people don't have options, and they're stuck. And they're stuck dealing with what you supply them with. And I'm stuck paying for it as a taxpayer. Here's another one, item 1X. I couldn't believe this thing. I mean, this is party time for you guys, I guess, with this technology. Here goes another couple $100,000. And then we've got the Common Core stuff rolling in here under item 1GG. Common Core, for those of you who may not realize it, is nothing more than an algorithm developing, dossier gathering, mind-bending, federal takeover of education, and the money has been thrown out, it's been swallowed hook, line, and sinker. What you have to do to get out of it, I don't know. That's up to you to decide, because I think you have a moral responsibility. I've looked at some of the homework assignments before I pulled my children out when we were starting to blend this stuff in. I don't have a PhD, I have a bachelor's degree in chemistry, I have a bachelor's degree in biological science. I had calculus my senior year of high school, and I can do math. I could not do my 4th grader's homework. I really couldn't. It's ridiculous. So whether I was trained to think a different way as a child, I obviously understand how things are supposed to be, what to do when you're supposed to add and subtract. But the reality is what this stuff is, it's an insertion of Marxism, it's an insertion of socialism, it's an end run around the principles that we've established this country on, and you're creating an environment where, when I first put my children in this district, I would be able to go over to the district library and pull the textbooks and the curriculum. I don't know how that's going to be accomplished now with all of these devices and all of this digital learning. So there goes that with all of this. You know, Common Core is very contentious. It's a politically safe football to throw around. I know wireless is the elephant in the room that nobody wants to talk about because it's one of those things where, oh, well, everyone's addicted to it. No one can live without it. I guess the wires are totally evil and demonic because they cause people to trip or something. But the amount of money, I looked through the finances, you're not hurting for dough. And I don't understand why we've chosen an iPad that doesn't have an Ethernet port. I don't know why we haven't gone in the other direction. It can't be finances because, well, maybe it is. Maybe you've chosen the health of the children over the money. Because in my opinion, that's what I believe you've done. It's not too late to turn this thing around. You don't have to go this route. You know, you have libraries full of textbooks, and they were doing just fine with them. I know you've got your edicts. They're coming down from on high. You've got your E-rate money. It's a shopping spree. Who doesn't like a shopping spree, right? But that's what's going on here. They're forcing you into a situation where you have to buy wireless devices, and you have to deploy wireless technology. I don't appreciate the PTAs who ostensibly exist for the safety and benefit of the children, donating money hand over fist to buy more of these devices when they blatantly ignore everything they're presented with. And I have to tell you this, I'll close on this. This reminds me of a Twilight Zone episode. When I was a kid, I was fascinated with the Twilight Zone. As a matter of fact, I still love it. Black and white is just wonderful. But there was an episode where these aliens came to Earth, and they had this book that no one could really understand, and they left it with all the world leaders. And they solved all humanity's problems. They had these technologies that were just amazing. They had force fields around the countries. They weren't allowed, they weren't able to attack each other, and they all disarmed. They essentially arrived to solve all humanity's problems with this benevolent technology.
Can I guess, Joe, before you go? I remember the episode.
To serve man.
To serve man.
It was a cookbook. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, what you're involved in here, whether you believe it or not, whether you want to realize it or not, you're all being hoodwinked and duped into going along with something that's extremely nefarious. I won't go into too much more detail on that tonight, except I do believe that this is an agenda definitely aimed at human fertility. Apple666.org is the domain. You can go there, call it what you want. But you have all been put in a very difficult position, and I've put you all in a difficult position by bringing this to light, and I'm going to keep bringing this to light, because the reality is it's not going to go away until more people stand up and try to stop this train instead of sitting in the audience driving it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Joe. Seeing no more public comments, we will move on to the superintendent's report.
Just a couple upcoming things. We had